Hello everyone, welcome to Target Focused Life. My name's Steve, and today I have the Browning A5 12 gauge. So if you're looking for a detailed, in-depth review, you've come to the right place. Let's go! So a lot of viewers have been asking for the A5. So I went to Reed's just this last week, picked up the A5 just so I could do this review before I leave for 2 weeks for an elk hunt. Now, I look at all these comments. You guys are constantly commenting on what reviews you'd like to see. I absolutely love looking at the comments, and I do take them very seriously. Now, in full disclosure, I'm not gonna be able to do all the reviews on every single gun, at least not this year, but I plan on getting there. So be patient with me, keep suggesting reviews, and I will keep doing as many as I can. Now we got the A5. This is the Wicked Wing Edition, 3.5 inch, 28 inch barrel in the Realtree timber camo pattern. Now throughout this review, I'm gonna be going through a lot of different areas, talking about a lot of different things. If there's something specific that you're looking for, whether it's the specs, recoil, reliability, speed shooting, any of those things, how it performs, you can jump right to the area, look in the description down below. But the first thing I'm gonna get started with is the selling points. Now Browning labels the A5 as the most reliable, the fastest cycling, the best balanced, the softest recoiling, recoil operated shotgun on the market. Recoil operated meaning basically inertia. Browning calls it kinematic drive. It's basically an inertia operated shotgun. Contrast that with the Browning Maxxis 2, which is a gas operated shotgun, which I did a review on earlier. If you want to see that review, make sure you check that out. In fact, Browning's so confident in the reliability of the shotgun, they put a 5-year, 100,000 round warranty on this shotgun, that it will work come hell or high water. We're gonna put it to the test today. We're gonna see how reliable it is. This gun is straight out of the box. I shot a few rounds through it yesterday after cleaning it live on YouTube. I hate YouTube Live. Why? Because they took down the video because I was shooting a firearm live on YouTube. So here I am, only a few rounds through this gun. We're gonna put it to the test, see how reliable it is right out of the box. But yesterday, I had really no cycling issues. I was super impressed with it. We'll see what happens today. Let's get rolling right into the specs of this shotgun. First off the bat, this Wicked Wing Edition is intended to be a waterfowl shotgun, 3.5 inch. You could use it for some clays and even hunting turkeys. 3.5 inch isn't my preferred shotgun chamber length if you're gonna be shooting clays, but we'll see how it handles up with the light target loads as well as heavier 3 inch and 3.5 inch loads as well. Now the MSRP of the Wicked Wing Edition is $19.99. It comes with a nice price tag, but I was able to find this one at Reed's for $16.49. So puts it comparable to some of the higher end inertia driven shotguns that you're gonna see on the market. Now that's the Wicked Wing Edition. I was able to find just the plain camo edition for $15.79. There are some slight differences. We're gonna talk a little bit more about those later on in the video. And if you just go down to the stripped down black version of this gun in 3 inch, Reed's has it available for $13.99. So there is kind of a price range between the base model and the Wicked Wing being one of the more expensive models. But in the A5, you're gonna find a lot of variations. We'll also chat more about that in a little while. This version has a 28 inch barrel. There are other versions that have 26, and some models even have 30 inch barrels. The weight of this shotgun is 7 pounds, 5 ounces. During my live video the other day, I did hold it in my hands, and I had to guess. I guessed 7 pounds, 6 ounces. I was very close, 7 pounds, 5 ounces. But what Browning claims is that it's so well balanced, and that makes a big difference with weight. Weight is not one of those things that is just straight up the same across all guns. Some guns can weigh a little bit less, but feel awkward in the hand, so balance is a huge thing. We're gonna look at that a little bit in ergonomics. Length of pull on this shotgun, the distance from the trigger to the center of the buttstock is 14.25 inches. Now this gun does come with spacers that you can increase the length of pull. It also comes with shims, so you can adjust the drop and the cast. Now we don't talk a lot about cast in my videos so far, but if you're not familiar with cast is which way the stock is bent relative to the receiver. So for a right-handed shooter, the stock is generally bent away from the receiver. allowing the shooter to get their face up like that. Now, the opposite is true with a left-handed shooter, but most of these guns are right-handed, so if you're a left-handed shooter, you want to change the cast of your shotgun from cast off or away from your face to cast on. So if you're shooting from this side, you want cast on. You want the stock bent away from your face. I don't want to get too detailed in that right now. Maybe I'll do some more videos down the road about shotgun fit, what length of pull, drop, cast, all those things, how they play into your shooting. Would love to hear your comments. Is that something you would like to see? Would you like to learn more about that? I kind of breeze past it in these videos for brevity's sake because they're already like 15 minutes long. Length of pull, 14¼ inches. The drop at the comb is 1.75 inches. Then it only has a 1/4 inch drop to the heel down to 2 inches. Now the A5 runs the Invector DS choke system, which is a little bit different than Browning or Winchester's Invector Plus system. The Wicked Wing specifically comes with 3 extended chokes that are made to look like a goose band, right? They're pretty cool looking. I would love to hear your thoughts. They're kind of silver and shiny, even though they got a little bit of a matte finish. Do you like the chokes? Is that something you'd hunt in the field with? It comes with improved cylinder, modified and full. Generally in my videos, as you know, I like to switch out the chokes for my Carlson's chokes because they perform flawlessly, but I didn't have any for the Invector DS system. So we're just running with what comes with the gun today, improved cylinder. Now, as part of the specs, I like to look at the trigger. There's 2 ways I like to look at the trigger. One is just by dry firing it. A little heavier than I anticipated. That's just based on feel, but I'm also looking at how much pre-travel there is or sponginess before the trigger breaks. It's fairly crisp, not a lot of pre-travel. I love that, but I'm concerned about the weight of this trigger. So to test that, I am gonna grab my Wheeler professional trigger gauge scale. We're gonna do 3 pulls of the trigger. 5 pounds, 11 ounces. Honestly, that surprised me. It felt a little heavier than that. Feel can be deceiving at times. We're gonna enter that one, 5 pounds, 11 ounces. 5 pounds, 8.4 ounces. 5 pounds, 2 ounces. We're just getting lighter every time. I gotta try this one more time. 5 pounds, 7.7 ounces. So I think we have a good average with 4 pulls. 5 pounds, 7.5 ounces. That's not terribly heavy. I'm okay with anything between 5 and 6 if the trigger feels good. Sometimes triggers can be a little bit lighter but feel horrible. It's gonna come down to this. All these things we talk about leading up to this, specs, trigger pull, eventually I'll talk about recoil and reliability. At the end of the video, I'm gonna do some speed shooting. That's gonna bring it all together. How fast can I shoot 3 clays on the clock? That tests trigger, that tests reliability, it tests recoil, mount, all these things. So make sure you stay tuned to the end because that's the best part. So now let's take a look at the ergonomics of this shotgun. We're talking the look, the feel, the balance, the operation of the controls. First thing I like to do is just hold it in my hand, see how it feels. It feels moderately comfortable. The forearm is maybe doesn't have the grooves in here, kind of like I'd like to see. I really like the rubber overmolding on the Maxxis 2. Now that I've shot that a little bit, this feels like it could get a little slippery. It doesn't have very aggressive grip on it, but it's moderately comfortable. Pistol grip is maybe a little bit wide for my liking. Still feels pretty comfortable in the hands. Mounts up natural, feels good in the hands. This is inertia operated. Generally their balance points can be a little further back because it does not have the piston and the working components up here that you're gonna find in a gas operated gun, right? Let's look at the balance point. Feels good in the hands. I don't mind it a little further back because it puts more weight back here closer to your body, makes it easy to handle. Downside can be the front end gets a little bit light, making it easier to whip the barrel too fast, maybe leading to a little bit more muzzle jump. I'll look at that when we look at the shooting portions of this video, see if I notice any extra muzzle flip. Taking a look at the controls though, it does have an oversized bolt release. That's on the Wicked Wing edition. What you're gonna find in most other variations, it does not have the oversized bolt release. I love the oversized bolt release, can slap it closed without looking. You can just, easy, right? The charging handle is not oversized, but it's very efficient. We'll call it that. I don't mind that at all. Crossbolt safety on the back side. Safety's nice sized, easy to press and switch, very easy. Trigger guard is oversized. Look how much space you have in that trigger guard. That's nice, I like that. If you're hunting in cold climates, like you always are in Minnesota, it's nice to be able to have oversized trigger guard, get your hands in there. The A5 does have 2 beads. It has a fiber optic front bead and an ivory mid bead. The fiber optic is not overly large, which I'm a fan of. Don't put huge fiber optic sights on your shotguns. It's distracting to your eye. You need to be focused on that clay or on that bird, not on your bead. The beads are good for getting things lined up, making sure your head is in the right place. Now I gotta say, mounting this gun up, this humpback feels a little bit awkward. It felt awkward yesterday. It feels less awkward today as I begin to shoot it. My eyes are adjusting to this. It's just different, right? Some people really love the humpback on this. Now the A5, I should say, quick history lesson. The A5 has been around for a long time. It was designed by John Moses Browning in 1898 and patented in 1900. And then it was manufactured for nearly 100 years, all the way up until 1998. Then in 2014, Browning reintroduced the A5. Now it's similar in looks, but that is it. How the gun operates, everything else is really newly designed, but there is a nostalgia look to this of the old Browning A5s, which were legendary in their own right. One thing that's majorly different is the old Browning A5s, the action and the barrel actually moved together. The barrel would move when the gun was recoiling. It would come rearward and then forward. That does not happen here on the new A5. But anyways, enough history lesson. Back to the ergonomics. They didn't bore out the loading port. There's a little bevel there on the front side. I really love when manufacturers bevel this out. It just makes it easier to slap shells in there. It takes away this sharp edge. This edge is kind of sharp if you're rubbing your hands against it. I really wish Browning would have done that on the A5. They did that on the Maxxis 2. I absolutely love that. Overall, ergonomics, I really like this gun. I think Browning did a nice job. My biggest drawback would be they didn't bevel out the loading port. That's about it. I mean, I could get fussy about the forend not being my preference, but that's my preference. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of that. Nice recoil pad on here, pretty standard stock. Pretty happy overall with the ergonomics. Now, generally, I like to talk about the other variations available with this Browning A5. There is so many that I'm not gonna talk about it much. There's 9 current production options and 19 limited edition options. So those are gonna be the ones that some dealers are gonna have, some are not. You don't know where you're gonna find them. They can be a little bit more challenging, but they have options: Wicked Wing, camo, black, wood, all different grades. Just a vast offering on the A5, which I think is great, but it can be a little overwhelming because I had to choose just one and I kind of want them all. Does anyone else suffer from that same thing? Real quickly, we're gonna look at the quality of build, then we're gonna jump into recoil and reliability. Quality of build, everything comes together really nice on this shotgun. I don't have any issues. Everything is tight. Tolerances look good. I'm not gonna spend much time on it. Browning did a great job, which you would expect at nearly a $2,000 shotgun. Let's look at recoil and reliability, because that's the fun part, because I get to start pulling the trigger and sending rounds down range. All right, I'm gonna slap a few rounds in. These are target loads, 1 1/8 Federal Top Gun. Just gonna wrap off a few shots, see how it feels. A little more recoil than a gas operated gun, I can definitely say that. I shot the Maxxis 2 in a prior review, definitely had less recoil. This gun is a little bit short for me. Out of the box, I need to put one of those spacers in to increase the length of pull, especially when it's summertime. I'm shooting in a t-shirt. If I had a jacket on, that might be a little bit different. If you notice when I mount up, look how close my thumb is to my nose. Now, part of that is I got a big nose, but part of that is the gun's a little too short. So it's a little hard for me to shoot, but let's wrap off 3 more. Doesn't feel bad. Recoil's a little heavier than gas gun for sure, but recoil directly back into my shoulder, nothing to my face. It felt pretty good. Reliability, obviously we've had no issues yet with the target loads from the shoulder. A couple other tests I like to do that drive some people crazy, and I love it that it drives them crazy, is trying things like this from the hip. No issues there. And then lastly, I'm gonna try with the gun over the head. Now people say, these guns were not meant to be shot over the head. Absolutely, they weren't meant to be shot over the head. But I like to do it as a baseline, because if it shoots over the head, upside down, guess what? You got a very reliable gun that works in a lot of different scenarios, whether it's clean or dirty, whether it's upside down or right side up. That's what I'm looking for. I know it's not meant to be shot this way. Okay. Didn't cycle that one, let's try it again. Didn't cycle that one. and did not cycle that one. Now, I'm not surprised. Number one, brand new gun. Number two, 3.5-inch shooting light target loads upside down over the head. Not that uncommon to see, right? So it doesn't concern me. It's shooting fine from the shoulder, but I do like to do that test as a baseline. A lot of my 3-inch models, for example, the Winchester SX4, that will shoot upside down over the head. But I will say, often I find guns have 100 to 150 round break-in period. They're a little stiffer. You get a couple boxes through, they start to loosen up a little bit and shoot even better. So don't be frustrated if you get a brand new gun and it's not cycling correctly right out of the box. Number one, clean the gun well. And I'll make some cleaning videos coming up. I'm working on those. Number two, give it some break-in time, right? If you're shooting target loads, shoot 3, 4, 5 boxes through it to break it in. Okay, that was target loads. I'm pretty sure it's gonna shoot these 3-inch Black Cloud, Federal Black Cloud, 1.25 ounce just fine. Woo, baby, that kicks a little bit more than those target loads for sure. Oh, nailed it. Recoils a little bit heavier loads without a problem. Upside down over the head, that doesn't surprise me either. I did take that a lot more into the shoulder, a little bit into the face. This gun's a little bit short. The fit of the gun can change how you take the recoil. I don't take most of these guns out of the box and do much adjusting to them because that takes a lot of time, and I'm reviewing a lot of guns, so I kind of shoot them as is. Let's go to the big boys. 3.5 inch. Let's see how it handles these. Let's see what the recoil feels like. Oh, that felt like a cannon, man. Just for fun, let's throw clay out there. Oh, why does anyone want to shoot those? A little heavier recoil than certainly gas operated. I would say even heavier recoil than some of the inertia guns that I've shot. Now, it's hard to say sometimes unless you're shooting them side by side. That's why I love the shotgun showdowns, just for fun. Upside down, over the head. Oh my gosh. 3.5 inch, you gotta not love them. When I boil it down, recoil and reliability. Recoil is moderate. Softest shooting inertia-driven gun on the market? Maybe a stretch, Browning. Maybe a stretch, but we'll see in a shotgun showdown. Reliability, ultra reliable come hell or high water, unless you're shooting target loads. It's a 3.5 inch gun. That's understandable. I would love to take this out in the field, shoot it a whole lot more. I just think it's funny how brands will put out in their marketing material all these things that they really can't back up or prove, but the fact that Browning has a 5-year, 100,000 warranty behind it does mean something. Have you had to use that warranty? That is a question I'd love answered. Has anyone had to cash in on that warranty, and how did it go? Did Browning take care of you? Did they treat you well? That's the type of feedback I love to hear from viewers' experience and see what you guys have experienced, because I haven't experienced it all. I'm just one guy, right? A few other notes on quality of build. I do love the Cerakote burnt bronze finish. Cerakote is very durable. I love the nickel Teflon plated bolts, chamber, chrome plated chamber, and bore. That nickel Teflon is super easy to clean. It's nice and slick. I love that a lot. Next thing we're gonna take a look at is the breakdown of this shotgun, how easy it breaks down, what we're working with on the inside for cleaning and maintenance. Fore-end cap off, fore-end and barrel can slide off together. Then all we gotta do, close the bolt, pull the bolt handle, slide the bolt out, one-piece bolt, nice and easy. I like to use a punch, 2 pins on this one. I wish Browning would make some guns with just 1 pin. Trigger groups, triggers out. That's the thing you gotta love about inertia. Look at that. Just a few simple parts, broken apart, should go back together just as easy. I'm gonna slide the bolt back in. We gotta make sure the tail of this bolt goes into the plunger, bolt handle, in, trigger guard. This is probably the only halfway challenging thing on this shotgun. You have to press the bolt release to slide the trigger guard in, trigger group in, punch those pins back in, and then the barrel and fore-end should slide right on together. That's in, fore-end cap on. That was easy. Nice simple breakdown, ease of cleaning. Let's get back to shooting. It's time for the speed shooting. Here we go, on the clock, 3 clays. I'll give it a few different tries, see what my fastest time is. Okay, it was pretty decent shooting. I think it was a little slow to get on that first clay. 142, I know we can pick up the pace, ladies and gentlemen. I know I can. Got faster. 136 total time. There we go. 1, 2, 4. Took me 0.87 seconds to get on the first clay. And then I had a 0.21 and a 0.16. Not bad scores at all. I knew I could run it faster. Speed shooting tells me a lot. I was happy with the trigger. I was happy with the reliability. I was happy with the recoil. I did notice this light front end, the barrel, I had a little bit more muzzle jump than I would normally expect. That gave me some struggles. I missed clays over the top several times. Operation-wise, I enjoy this gun. I love the way it looks. Great quality of build. So many things to like, very few things not to like. Beveled loading port, wish it had it on there. I think it's a great gun. If you can splurge for the price point, definitely one worth picking up. You're gonna love it in your hands, in the blind. And I'm looking forward to hopefully getting out and actually doing some hunts with this shotgun. But I got so many to choose from. It's so hard. I know what you're thinking. It's a big problem, Steve. You're so unfortunate that you have this problem. I know. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave your comments down below. What other reviews would you like to see? Head-to-head shotgun showdowns with the Browning A5. And remember, whether in the field or in life, it's only the targets that you're laser focused on that you will hit. So live target focused. See ya.